Hello my crafty tribe, this is Artsy Maddie and let's get creative. So today I have these cute little metal lantern candle holders that I found after Christmas. They were 75% off. I think they were only marked like 50 cents to begin with, so practically free. And I'm just scuffing them up with some sandpaper. I didn't have any black flat spray paint, so here I am making my own black chalk paint, but if you have black matte spray paint, that would work just as well. I'm just having to make do with what I have. So I have some black latex paint and then the baby powder at Dollar Tree that has talc in it. You just want to make sure on the ingredients part that it has talc for sure, because that's what makes this work. So I learned this recipe from Holly over at Hot Humble Pie, and I will have a link to that in the description box, but it worked out great. It gives awesome coverage and it sticks really well, just like the manufactured chalk paint. So I would definitely recommend this. I only needed 2 coats of this to get perfect coverage, so I was really impressed. It worked out really great. So I think the latex paint is what helps give it such great coverage. But I think this would work with acrylic paint as well. Just you'll get a better result, I think, with latex. So keep an eye out for those Oops and Mist tints at Home Depot. They're a fantastic deal. So now I know that I want to give this a galaxy effect type paint finish. So I'm just going in to give myself a little bit of a base coat for a pink color, because I know that the pink won't show up over top of the black. So I'm just giving myself that little bit of a white base coat. If you think of when you see pictures of our galaxy Milky Way, there's always that kind of line with the bright pink down the center. So that's what I'm trying to recreate here. So I'm going to actually be showing you 2 projects because I'm giving them both the same paint finish. So we're going to be kind of swapping between 2 projects here. So I just have some foam letters. These are quite old. I think they were from Dollar Tree originally, but I think I've had them years and years now. It might even be like 10 years. So I'm just going in and giving them the same chalk paint finish. Got great coverage. Gave them 2 coats just to be sure. So just that same black flat chalk paint. And then I got myself a little mixture here of some galaxy colors. So all the different blues, a bit of purple, and a nice bright fuchsia pink. And then this paint here is from Dollarama. It came in this little wheel of all the different colors for $4, and I should have known. You get what you pay for. Look how terrible this paint is. It's all like clumpy and whatever, but we pushed through, made it work. It doesn't really matter for this project. You don't have to be too picky with what paints you're using. So I'm just going to show you. So look how bright that pink stays on the white base coat. That's what we were after. So just using a rough textured brush. I love old paintbrushes. That's why I really try and take care of my paintbrushes, because I feel like they get better with age. So I would suggest you guys do the same. Just always have water nearby. Try and take care of them as best you can, because once those bristles start to wear out and get a little rougher, they have more texture. It's like you get so much more character out of them. So definitely hold on to your paintbrushes and take care of them. So just working in with some purples, and we're just going to kind of blend. It doesn't have to be perfect. I kept this really kind of rudimentary, as easy as I could. I think anyone can do this. You just have fun with it. Don't stress out. It's just paint, right? You guys can do this for sure. So now just working in with some blue on top of that. It's okay if it gets muddy. That's kind of what the galaxy look is all about. So just blending, and even if the colors get a little muddy, mixed too much, that's okay. It works for this project, so you shouldn't have to worry at all. Nice, easy, fun painting. And it's a great way to use all those colors. I feel like these aren't colors that you use a lot, so it's a really great way to get to use those nice, bright, fun colors. So I kind of gave my tier tray like a camping evening theme without even really planning that out. I just kind of, I guess in my mind, one of my favorite parts about camping is, you know, the nighttime with the stars. You see so many stars, right? If you go far enough away from the city. So just all the stars and that atmosphere around the campfire and just the magic of being out in the forest at night. I just love that. So that's kind of the theme of my tiered tray without even planning it. So then I just took all three of these pieces here, put them into a cardboard box, and then I'm just going to be doing the stars. So how I did that was with a paintbrush, and you're just running your thumb or your fingertip along the paintbrush to get that spattered star effect all over your projects. So I'm just using the Rust-Oleum linen white chalk paint so that it gets good coverage. And here you can see I got a little carried away, especially the letters, they have an extra amount of stars. So now I'm just going in and putting in some larger stars just with the little dabbing pen, the little embossing tool from Dollar Tree. And I have this metal galvanized sign that's also from Dollar Tree, and these little wood slices that are also from Dollar Tree. So I'm just kind of laying them out to spell out my happy campers on there. And just adding those larger stars kind of creates some depth and dimension too to that paint technique. So I wouldn't really skip that step if you can do that. Either just using a really tiny paintbrush or the little embossing tool is fantastic from Dollar Tree. If you see that, I highly recommend picking that up. It's one of my favorite Dollar Tree items. So just pulling these stickers off of here, the glue is almost gone on them. Like they are really, really old. But I'm just using up my stash, using what I have. So I got them all laid out on these cute little wood rounds. I just thought this was so fun. And then I just went in with some wood glue and a paintbrush and just stuck all those letters down. And the wood glue worked really well for that. So I know they still sell foam stickers at the Dollar Tree. They might not be this exact shape, but they definitely have little packs of foam alphabet stickers. They might be in actually the kids section or the teaching section. So you might have to look around. They come in a little booklet now of them. And then once you have that all done, just affix the little wood rounds down with your favorite super glue, whatever you have, E6000. If you don't, you can always use hot glue. It just doesn't always stick so well to metal. So now just going in with the dabber, giving these some dimension too with those larger stars. So just creating that galaxy look. So just try and be random. Some can be a little larger, some can be a little smaller. No rhyme or reason, just be nice and random with it. And that is it. I gave them a nice little clear spray coat to protect them. And then look at this sweet little picnic table that I found at Dollarama. It's a little condiment holder for picnics and barbecues and camping. I just thought it was so cute. And I think this just makes the tray adorable. So just showing you what it's supposed to be used for, I guess. So I pulled off the two little pieces that hold the condiments. They just came right off, and then I just pulled out the little nails with some little wire cutter sort of things, just pulled them right out. So now I'm just giving it a little bit of color. I just had this paint mixed up. It's umber with a bit of glaze, so some burnt umber with glaze just to give it color. If you had the antiquing wax or just anything really, you could make your own stain with some watered down paint, whatever you like. Or if you have your favorite stain, just do that. So I thought about replacing the top with different pieces, but then I thought I'll just give it a tablecloth. That's even easier. So this is just from a rectangle piece from an old flannel shirt, which I just thought was cute, and the colors kind of blend in with what I'm doing. And I have so many ideas. I feel like I could never stop with this tiered tray. Anyway, this is the funnest playlist ever, you guys. There's a great bunch of crafters. You're going to find so much inspiration. Everyone's doing a tiered tray. So if you guys are into tiered tray, this is the playlist for you. It's being hosted by the Crafty Cove. Missi from the Crafty Cove. She does all sorts of farmhouse DIYs, super creative, does all these awesome signs, great tutorials for that. And also Emily at Farm Charm Chic, and she does really beautiful farmhouse stuff as well. So you can get your fill of farmhouse from both of these girls. I'll have links to their channels in my description box, and be sure to check out the playlist. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what everyone's done. So moving on, I just have these 2 tinsel plastic Christmas trees that I got half price after Christmas at Dollar Tree. So just stripping them down to the frame. And then I just wanted to make the trunk look like a trunk. So I thought the easiest way to do that is just with some of this bulky twine from Dollarama. So I just built up the trunks of them. That bottom part, for whatever reason, the trunk gets smaller instead of bigger. Talk about driving an artist crazy. Anyway, so I just built up the bottom half a little bit more so that it's all the same sort of thickness for the trunk. And that's it. Nice, easy little trunk there. And then I just stuffed the bottom with some scrap craft paper, just because I knew I wanted to cover the bottoms in moss when I'm done. So I just glued in some little brown paper in there. So I have an endless supply now of these greenery pieces. I found a bent Christmas tree at this salvage thrift store around Christmas time. And I actually took it all apart, and now I just have this endless supply of greenery for crafts, which is awesome. So if you guys ever come across like a bent or ruined Christmas tree, I would definitely suggest that. If you're a crafter, you can salvage a lot of greenery off it, and it comes in handy for lots of crafts. So I just, I figured out I had to cut these down just to get them to fit better. So just cutting them all down, fitting them onto this little tree, and we're just making this kind of rudimentary evergreen spruce kind of tree. It's by no means perfect, but just super fun and rustic kind of camping look to it. So I just kind of worked like in a teepee sort of fashion, just putting all the pieces closer at the top, wider at the bottom, and it was enough to give the tree good coverage. Can't really see through it too badly after it's all put together. And then I just glued some moss onto that paper and the base at the bottom. So of course I don't have to tell you guys, you're all crafters, so I don't have to tell you how messy moss is. We all know that, right? But it's worth it. It looks so cute in the end. And then for our last craft here, so this is the 5 under 5 challenge. So everything here is under $5, which most of my crafts are anyway. I feel like I'm such a cheap crafter, I guess, for lack of a better word. So I'm just cutting some floral foam down to make a little mound for inside of the cloche, because I know I want to set the mushrooms on like a little moss kind of mound. So I just shaped it with my knife to kind of be a rough shape of a mound. It doesn't have to be perfect, not like a perfect little round hill, don't worry about that. Just dry fitting the mushrooms, making sure I can get them to fit inside the cloche, and then I just go in and glue some more moss. So nice and messy, but pretty and worth it, right? So you got to be careful with the glue and the moss. Of course, you guys know that too. Tends to come through and burn your fingers. I feel like I have crafter fingers. They hardly feel the hot glue anymore. So you guys will have to let me know what other ideas you guys would add to this tray. I feel like I can do another video even and just add more crafts. I had so many ideas. I'm really enjoying the tiered trays. It kind of reminds me of when I was a kid and I would play in my dollhouse and try and create whatever I could scavenge into like little miniature things. That's what it reminds me of. Super fun. I love it. So then I thought, just to make this more fun, I didn't want to get too complicated with the painting, because I just want everyone to be able to recreate these if you want to, or just be inspired to do them or something similar. So I just thought I'd give it some fun, easy polka dots instead of repainting. So that's all I'm doing. I thought it kind of gave it that like bioluminescent feel, like it's kind of glowing in the moonlight with this fun blue color. I've never seen a mushroom like this, but I just thought it was fun. And that is that for that project. And then you just got to fit the little cloche down in. They're a pretty tight fit, so you just got to kind of squish it into that moss and get it down in there, and then it's super tight. You don't even have to glue it shut or anything. And then I just have a couple quick projects. I just wanted some animals on my tray, so I found a couple things that my kids had, some little schley woodland animals, and then I found a couple things at the thrift store. I got this gray wolf for half price. I think he was $2, but I thought I'd just fix up the paint a little bit because he looks a little weird with that cream color. So what we have here in the Rockies is gray wolf, so I just wanted him to look like that. So just painted his silly orange mouth into a darker color and gave him a few layers of gray. Probably don't show you everything, but just so you get the idea. And then this plastic bear with his crazy blue eyes and his candy apple red tongue. So just trying to make him look more natural. So I just painted out his eyes in black and just made the mouth darker so it's not so in your face kind of colors. And then this super sweet little owl, he's from Dollarama. He was $4. And I just thought he was super cute. And they don't always have time to paint in those details. So just taking a few minutes and painting in some detail on these things can really make a big difference, I find. So go for it. What have you got to lose, right? It was $4. So just having some fun here, adding in. So they just go over them quickly with an airbrush. Like they're obviously just in a factory doing one after the other. So just going in, making sure it's like complete coverage instead of just that quick little hit with the airbrush. And just, it looks so much more of a higher end item than it looks like you bought it at Home Sense or something instead. So I just went in with some darks and some lights. He already has lots of mid-tone colors, so just going in with some dark, kind of hitting edges. So anywhere where there's like an edge of feathers, edges of around the eyes, the wings. And then we're just going to go in with some light. So now we'll dry brush on some light. So you just want a little tiny bit of paint on your paintbrush. And just again, just hitting those edges and just the top, like just the raised part of the texture. And it just adds a lot, gives them a lot of character. So then I found this super sweet little owl on a swing. And I just, I really didn't like the colors of him, but I didn't want to get too carried away with painting. So I'm just trying to kind of salvage with what's there and just work with it. So I just kind of added a little bit more color to the eyes because that's the sweetest part of the owl, right? They're nice big round eyes. And then again, just going in, doing the details, just the stuff that they don't have time for in the factory. So if you brace your elbows on the table and just kind of move your item instead of your paintbrush, you should have pretty good luck with doing the detailed painting. And it just takes practice, and what better practice than just these sweet little items, right? So just a couple coats to cover up that eye color. And then I'll just show you that I just go in and hit a little bit of the detail on the feathers. So just on the ends of the feathers, we just want to create that detail and definition to those. Because usually these sculptures are pretty good. Like the artists that actually sculpted them, they usually do a great job because that's easy to reproduce. It's just the painting that's hard to reproduce in the factories, right? So you just kind of get what you get with those quick little airbrush jobs. So if you just go through and dry brush, it adds a lot of texture and interest to the pieces. And that is it for projects. And then I put the tiered tray all together, you guys. And this is just so fun. I'm enjoying this so much. I look forward to changing it out every time. So here it is. I picked up this four tiered tray from the same lady off of the secondhand website that I use, Kijiji, here in Calgary. And she sold me the other one as well. So I got both of these from her for $20 each. So I love them both. This is the first time I've used this one, and I love it just as much as the other. So I just put a bed of reindeer moss down on each layer just to add that texture and nature kind of feel to it. That little bird sitting on the picnic table, he is from Dollarama. And these are the little schley animals that my kids had when they were young. The little black lantern is from Dollar Tree. The You Rock heart is from Valentine's Day at Dollar Tree. There's our little sign, Happy Campers. That's what we are. We love camping. This little elk ornament I got after Christmas for 75% off. And the little enamel cup I just found at the thrift store. And these little kind of galaxy flowers I just found at Dollar Tree as well. I thought they were kind of perfect for this. The little pot hangers, the bunny on the right side and the owl on the left side are just from Dollarama as well. So you guys will have to let me know what you think, what you would copy, what you would do differently. And there's our rustic little spruce tree. And the eggs. I just tucked in some little reindeer moss into that little nest too to make it look more cozy, like they could be owl eggs. And then here's the other side of the tray. So that owl ornament, it's like a collector kind of ornament on the bottom. It looks really high-end and expensive. It has these little plates on the base of it. I just put some moss over them for this project, but I picked that up for half price at the thrift store for like $2.50. I just thought it was so cute. The mama with her little babies and then the mama bear beside it. I've always been a mama bear. And more of those little galaxy flowers. And then the little spruce sprigs of greenery. That was all from the same tree. It had like 3 different types of greenery on that Christmas tree that I took apart. I think it was a really high-end Christmas tree. So that was well worth doing. Definitely suggest that to you guys, especially like if you can find one before Christmas crafts. I think that would come in really handy. You'll just have an endless supply of greenery for Christmas crafts. So there's that gray wolf, looking more like a gray wolf. He kind of looked like a coyote or something before. And the little duck is from Dollarama as well. And then I just had to put that little, the other little lantern up onto a riser, just so it would fit in the tray. It's always good to have lots of little riser pieces for your tiered tray. So that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out that playlist. It's just going to be a playlist of tiered trays. I'm so excited. Can't wait to watch that. So for sure, check that out, and we'll see you soon in the next video. Thanks, guys.